Hi, this is Jennifer Kane with Kane Consulting, and this is our first ever video blog post. So this week I'm talking a little bit about the concept of influence, which has been on my mind lately for three different reasons. The first of which is Mark Schaefer's new book, Return on Influence, which we are going to be discussing at our May Kane Consulting Business Book Club Salon. The second is the May issue of Wired magazine, which has an article in it on Clout, which is a tool that you can use to score online influence. And then the third thing that's kind of mixed up into this concept of clout for me is a TED Talk that I recently watched by Brad Meltzer about writing your own obituary. And as part of that process, he asked people to think about the people who influenced you in your life and the people whom you influenced as part of this larger picture of what we accomplish in our lives. And the talk in particular made me think about who are the people who influence me and how do they influence me, which kind of drives home for me the concept that influence is something that really has to be positioned in a certain amount of context. There needs to be an objective for your influence. So for instance, I have a lot of people in my network and they influence me in many different ways. Some people inspire me to try to be a better person personally. Some people inspire me to do better at my job. They set the bar really high for the professionalism in our career, and that's something that I kind of aspire to. There are other people who influence me because their behavior is really poor. It's behavior that I wouldn't want to reflect. And seeing somebody make those mistakes publicly is a reminder to me that I don't want to do those things. So in the Wired article, it's talking about companies who are using clout scores to determine if a person should get a job. And I think that, using a clout score as your only answer to if a person should get a job or not really represents somebody who's too lazy to figure out the right questions. That without having some sort of objective, that what is it that you want a person to influence, just relying on the score out of context is not very helpful. Another example is one of the times that my clout score has been the highest was right after I had a very important surgery. It had nothing to do with the information that I'm sharing or my thought leadership in a particular area. So really when it comes down to it, the most influential thing that I've ever done is not die, which is kind of a sad statement on my career and a sad statement on looking at clout out of context. Clout categorizes people in a lot of different buckets, and some people are influential just because they are very good at sharing other people's information, and some people are have a very high clout score because they generate ideas. Those two buckets are very, very different, and if you don't look at the score in context, you're kind of missing out on that larger picture. So obviously there's a lot of different angles to talk about this particular topic, which is what we're going to be doing in May at our book club. So if you live in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, I would encourage you to sign up for our book salon. Mark Schaefer will be joining us via Skype. It is free and open to the public, but we do ask that you register. And I hope that you will stop by and talk with us a little bit more about influence.